Watch through to the end to see how much it cost. Heard about the infamous Tacoma brake shake? If you've spent any time on owner forums or in Facebook groups, you've probably seen the posts. It's a frustrating, sometimes unnerving vibration that appears when you hit the brakes. Recently, more drivers have reported the issue even on newer models, and some say it can start as early as 10,000 miles. The problem isn't just annoying, it can make you second-guess your truck's reliability, especially if you rely on it for daily commutes or off-road adventures. Let's take a closer look at why this keeps happening and what you need to know. It's a topic that generates a lot of confusion and strong opinions. Many drivers immediately jump to conclusions, fearing a major safety recall or expecting a simple fix covered under a technical service bulletin, or TSB. But the reality is much more nuanced. Before you start demanding a free repair from your dealership, let's cut through the noise and get to the bottom of what's really going on. We're going to break down the official communication from Toyota, what it actually means, and what real-world solutions owners and mechanics are using to solve this problem for good. So let's clear things up. The issue primarily affects 2018 to 2020 model year Toyota Tacomas. Owners describe a distinct pulsation or vibration that's felt through the steering wheel, the brake pedal, and sometimes the entire chassis. It typically happens during moderate to firm braking, especially at speeds above 35 or 40 miles per hour, like when you're slowing down on a highway off-ramp. For a truck celebrated for its ruggedness and reliability, this kind of issue is particularly jarring. It can make the vehicle feel less stable and confident on the road, leading to legitimate concerns about brake performance and safety, even if the truck still stops effectively. It's important to note this doesn't affect every Tacoma from this era, but the number of reports was significant enough for Toyota to take notice. But here's the critical distinction that trips everyone up. This issue was never addressed with a recall or even a formal technical service bulletin. A recall is issued for a safety defect and the fix is mandatory and free. A TSB provides dealers with specific repair instructions for a known, non-safety related problem, which may or may not be covered by warranty. Instead, Toyota issued what's known as a tech tip, specifically manufacturer communication, T-TT-0632-20. Reverend, think of a tech tip as an internal memo. It's a preliminary step, often used to gather data from the field when a manufacturer is investigating a pattern of complaints. It's not a green light for a repair, it's a request for information. This tech tip instructed dealership technicians to follow a very specific diagnostic path. First, they had to perform a road test to confirm the vibration was indeed present during braking and isolate it to the front axle, ensuring it wasn't coming from the rear brakes or another source. But the criteria for reporting were incredibly narrow. The truck had to have under 15,000 miles on the odometer, meaning Toyota was focused on low-mileage original equipment failures. It also couldn't have had any prior front brake work done, including resurfaced rotors. And strangest of all, the tech tip was initially targeted at vehicles sold in just 3 states, California, Texas, and Florida. Why? Toyota never officially said, but speculation points to these being high-volume markets with climates that could potentially contribute to brake issues, making them ideal for data collection. If a truck met all these conditions, dealers weren't told to replace parts. They were simply instructed to document their findings and submit a detailed report to Toyota's technical assistance hotline. It was purely an information-gathering campaign. Here's the final nail in the coffin for anyone hoping for an easy fix. This tech tip officially expired on May 28, 2021. This means Toyota is no longer actively collecting data on this issue under this specific communication. For owners, this is a critical piece of information. It signals that Toyota has likely concluded its investigation and will not be issuing a broader warranty extension or recall for this specific brake vibration problem. So if you walk into a dealership today complaining about this shake, don't expect them to pull up a special program for you. The responsibility for diagnosing and repairing the issue now falls squarely on the owner and their chosen service provider. So, if Toyota isn't offering a dedicated fix, what do owners and dealers actually do to solve the problem? The most common culprit and the first place to look is the front brake rotors. Over time, rotors can develop what's called lateral runout. This is a fancy term for warping, where the rotor surface is no longer perfectly flat. Even a tiny variation measured in thousandths of an inch can cause a noticeable pulsation when the brake pads clamp down. This can be caused by excessive heat, improper lug nut torque, or even uneven deposits of brake pad material on the rotor surface. The standard fix is to either resurface the rotors on a brake lathe, which shaves off a thin layer to make them true again, or to replace them entirely along with new brake pads. Many owners opt for high-quality aftermarket rotors and pads, which can sometimes offer better heat dissipation and be more resistant to warping than the original equipment. While the front brakes are the primary suspect, experienced mechanics know not to stop there. They'll also inspect the rear brake drums, as an out-of-round drum can transmit a similar vibration through the vehicle. And of course, a simple wheel and tire imbalance can also be the cause or at least a contributing factor, so having that checked is always a smart move. Ultimately, fixing the Tacoma brake shake comes down to good old-fashioned diagnostic work. It's a process of elimination, not a one-size-fits-all solution or a guaranteed warranty fix. A good technician will investigate all possibilities before recommending a repair. Now, it's crucial not to confuse this braking vibration with another well-known Tacoma issue covered by TSB T-SB-0124-20. That is a real official technical service bulletin, but it addresses a driveline vibration felt during acceleration or when cruising at certain speeds, typically between 15 and 30 miles per hour. It's common on 2016 to 2021 4WD models and is caused by the drive shaft angles. The key difference is when the vibration occurs. One is during braking, the other is during acceleration. They are two completely separate problems with different causes and different solutions, so if your Tacoma has the shakes, what's your game plan? Go to your service advisor armed with knowledge. Mentioning the expired tech tip, T-TT-0632-20 Rev, shows you've done your homework and helps them understand the history of the issue, even if it doesn't guarantee a free fix. Insist on a thorough diagnosis. Ask them to measure the front rotor runout with a dial indicator and inspect the rear drums and tire balance. If you're not getting satisfactory answers from the dealership, consider seeking a second opinion from a trusted, independent repair shop that specializes in brakes. Have you dealt with this Tacoma vibration yourself? What was the final fix for your truck? Your experience could be the key that helps another owner solve their problem. Drop your story in the comments below. We want to hear what worked, what didn't, and any advice you have for the community. If this video helped clear things up for you, hit that like button, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell for more deep dives into the car issues that matter to you. So, how much might it cost to fix the Tacoma brake vibration? At a Toyota dealership, expect to pay anywhere from $400 to $800 for resurfacing or replacing the front rotors and pads, depending on your location and the extent of the work. Independent shops often charge less, typically between $250 and $500 for the same job, using quality aftermarket parts. Always ask for a detailed estimate before approving any repairs. And remember that prices can vary based on your truck's condition and local labor rates.